Super rich NBA players nobody knows about. The most popular and celebrated sport, basketball. People at times say, sports will not help us reach great heights, it's just a recreational activity. Well, we can never agree to that, right? With each jump and throw, your wallet is getting filled slowly. The net worth of individual players has reached deep pockets. And with all those players making millions and billions, it is often pondered, who is the wealthiest NBA player that we are less aware of? Well, we have come up with a name. He's American, played in the court from 1975 to 1987, and turned from $350,000 to $600 million. Junior Bridgeman. Welcome back to Everything Sports. Today, we are going to look at the super rich NBA player nobody knows about. Some of you might know him, while for some, this guy might be new. Whatever it is, today, you will get to know some cool things about our player. Just like how he conquered the business world by, well, don't want to spoil it. Best leave it till the end. So, do hang in there, as then only you will realize this guy here is more than just a basketball player. Without much delay, let's dive deep into the video. Ulysses Lee Jr. Bridgeman was born on September 17th of 1953 in East Chicago, Indiana. He was from a middle-class family whose father, Ulysses Sr., worked in a steel mill and mother a housemaker. Bridgeman holds a degree in psychology and is known for his philanthropy in Louisville, Kentucky. He married his college love, Doris Griffith, right after he joined the Bucks team in 1975. The couple has 3 kids, Eden, Justin, and Ryan, with all 3 having MBAs and contributing to the family. Bridgeman was a member of the 1971 East Chicago Washington High School senior basketball team and won the state high school championship. His teammates for the match were his brother Sam, Pete Trogovich, who played at UCLA, and Tim Stoddard. Although he was considered a solid player, Bridgeman did not count on playing the game after high school. However, in his older years, he realized that he was destined to play basketball. As he was not a person who was going only behind sports, he went on to achieve his degree from the University of Louisville by also playing under Coach Denny Crum. He even gave a part for the Missouri Valley Conference in 1974 and 1975. Our player here was indeed a good leader. Know why? Because as a junior, he led the Louisville Cardinals to the 1974 NCAA Division Basketball Tournament. And as a senior, Cardinals were led to the Final Four of the 1975 NCAA Division Basketball Tournament. By the end of his college days, Bridgeman averaged 15.5 points, 7.6 rebounds, and 2.7 assists in 87 career games. Although he was passionate about basketball, off the court he held to his books, studying for the LSAT and completing his degree in psychology. Now, those were just a small teaser of his basketball career. The show is about to begin. Well, before I proceed, make sure to subscribe to our channel and click the bell icon for further notifications when we post content. Let's get back to the scenes. The Los Angeles Lakers introduced Bridgeman in the first round of the 1975 NBA Draft. Our man stepped into the game. Bridgeman was also involved in a landmark sale on June 16, 1975, almost 3 weeks after the draft. Later on, he was exchanged by the Los Angeles Lakers along with his teammates David Mayers, Elmore Smith, and Brian Winters to the Milwaukee Bucks and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Walt Wesley. Later on in 1976 through 1977, Junior showed a spike in his game by averaging 14.4 points, 5.1 rebounds, and 2.1 assists, making him play for another 8 seasons. On September 29, 1984, after 9 seasons in Milwaukee, Bridgeman was traded along with Harvey Catchings, Marquise Johnson, and some cash to the Los Angeles Clippers for Terry Cummings, Craig Hodge, and Ricky Pierce. Getting the millionaire tagline for today's player is not a big deal compared to the old days, and Junior got his highest salary of $350,000 in 1985 when he played for the Los Angeles Clippers. After spending 2 years there, Bridgeman returned to Milwaukee for 1 season before saying goodbye to the court in 1987. He made history by playing 711 games for the Bucks. In his 12-year NBA career, he scored a stunning 11,507 points in total. Being a part of the Milwaukee Bucks and the Los Angeles Clippers, Bridgeman played a total of 849 games. averaging 3.6 points, 3.5 rebounds, and 2.6 assists, shooting 47% from the floor and 84% from the line. Bridgeman also performed as the president of the NBA from 1985 to 1988, and later resigned from his NBA career in 1988. He took part in various programs after his retirement. Well, not just after retirement, but even when he was on the court, he did several small business startups. We will be talking about that part of his life soon. Just hang on with patience. And did you know he was a member of the Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity? Wondering what it is? It was the first intercollege historical African-American Greek-lettered fraternity that had many historical leaders like Martin Luther King Jr. and many more. Jr. was even appointed to serve the PGA Board of Directors in 2008. It's not over yet. In 2010, he was also appointed to the Board of Governors by the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame. He was even part of the other trustees, like the University of Louisville, Simon College of Kentucky, Louisville Megachurch, Southeast Christian Church, and Churchill Downs Incorporated from 2012 to 2017. And now we know why he was worth all the honors. But the fact remains that awards and honors are not enough to meet the needs and requirements of an individual. The hours didn't get more comfortable for him after his retirement at 33. He used the money he made to invest all into a fast food franchise. Bridgeman worked and developed the business model at Wendy's fast food restaurant franchise. This was what his startup was during his NBA career. He opened up the restaurant during his active career, and by the end, he opened 3 of them. He invested in the franchise and ultimately became the owner of over 100 various Wendy's. Just imagine from 3 Wendy's to 100! Now that is what we call growth. His highest earning Wendy's was around $800,000. That was about the average for the franchise at the time. He did not only focus on Wendy's, but invested in others as well, particularly Chili's. You might think of how he expanded his franchise and how he earned millions with just some restaurant. Well, there's always a secret behind every successful business and businessman. For our player, his sole aim in raising his income was by gaining the trust and respect of his employees that motivated them to work harder and sell more. He earned above-average profits from the franchise, bringing in millions of dollars each year. He used his revenue to shortlist and check out more franchises. By 2014, Bridgeman became the second largest Wendy's franchise owner in the United States. Even though he was a wealthy owner, rather than sitting back and collecting checks, Bridgeman was often seen behind the counters working for his restaurants. On top of his Wendy's, he also owned 120 Chili's restaurants and other brands across the U.S. By 2015, he owned over 200 Wendy's, Chili's, and Fannie Mae chocolate stores under the roof of Bridgeman Foods. He also became a franchisee of Fazoli and Blaze Pizza as well. After all this celebration, in 2016 he sold his fast food empire, but he didn't go into mediocrity. More immense opportunities opened doors to him. He became the president and CEO of Bridgeman Foods Inc. in 2017, and finally he became a bottler for the Coca-Cola Company and signed a letter of intent to buy bottling operations in Canada in 2018. I mean, that's crazy! The Coca-Cola Company? His interest in the Coca-Cola business started back during his NBA career. Once, he went on to approach Coca-Cola for a sponsor program. A session there through the bottler warehouse and distribution facility sparked his interest as an investor and businessman. This flash then made him the president and CEO of Coca-Cola Heartland. He also runs the company and its production plant in Lenexa, Kansas, and its 18 regional distribution centers. Despite being 6'5", he prefers to start from below and describes leadership style as an inverted pyramid, where the leaders are at the bottom and the customers are at the top. Junior considers him as the least important person. He values his workers the most. Junior's breadwinners are the primary support system in making Heartland work, not just as the part of the larger Coca-Cola ecosystem, but also for the people and communities his business serves. Since joining the company, he kept meeting with mayors, council people, and other local businesses for further improvements. Through the meeting, he aims to help and solve any company's problems and to borrow ideas for the betterment of the company. the list doesn't end there. Junior Bridgeman was also a significant investor in one park, which was stated to cost between $450 million to $500 million, and was under construction for more than 2 years. Being an ex-NBA player, it would have been not very good if he hadn't done anything for the growth of basketball. Well, Junior not only supported the founding of various basketball camps, but he also took part in developing Louisville Boys School for Homeless Children. He received the Gold Cup Award from the Greater Louisville Incorporated in honor for his business contributions and community involvement. In 2016, Forbes estimated that Bridgeman was the 4th highest paid retired athlete after Michael Jordan, David Beckham, and the late Arnold Palmer, with an annual income of $32 million. He became a wealthy man through his small investment, which rose to $600 million today. We have seen a lot of players going broke in the first 10 years after retirement, and they struggle a lot to stand up in their life forward. For such people, Bridgeman is an excellent counterexample of how to maintain your wealth and reach for better heights. He's a model for finding success even after leaving a professional sport. With that, we have reached the end of the video. Since you made it till the end, do not leave without clicking that like button. What more do you know about our player here? Tell us in the comment section below, and stay tuned for more. Until next time.